Today we're doing solar panels. So I've said on my blog, went out and picked up my solar panels. These big guys right here. They're Kyocera 200 watt panels, the Poly-crystalline Panels. Black frame. Not like that's any big deal, but black kind of just makes things disappear. I agree. And over here on my right, I have an old solar panel, and this is a 75 watt panel, and this panel is built in a monocrystalline fashion of the real early type solar panels. Very efficient, but unfortunately they were small. Didn't put out a lot of power, and they were very expensive. And what we have over time, these panels here were built in the late 80s, and these panels here, the big ones, are 5 years old. And rather than a big price difference, like everybody was hoping that solar panel prices are going to come way down, what we get is a larger output for a similar price. Now the panels have come down in price, but when these things were new, these things were, these things are $500–600, and back in the 80s, that's a lot of money per panel for such a small output. But that's what people bought. So if you wanted to power an entire house like we have with a 7.2 kilowatt system, you'd have to have a whole pile of these things that would be really expensive. And I don't know too many people that would do that. They'd make a small 2 or 3 kilowatt system at best and spend a lot of money, a lot more money than we spend on our big system that we have. This panel next to me, I have 30 of these, and they're slightly used. These are the monocrystalline cells, which are a little less efficient per square foot area, but they make up for it in price. And the other thing that they make up for is you can have low light, you can have angled light, and cloudy conditions, and these things will still produce power. Where these the monocrystalline cells tend to just kind of crap out. When the angle gets too great, there isn't much production. If you get shadows over part of the cell, these things just pretty much just crap out. Where these ones are still going. The monocrystalline cell, this is an old panel. I've got 4 of them. It's 72.2 watts, so excuse me, a 70 watt panel. 21.8 volt output and a 4.55 amp output. And people, these things are rated to last a real long time to produce and still produce up to 80%, what I've been told, of their power after about 25 years. Well, I think we're going to see better. Kind of raise this up a little bit here. I think we're going to see a little bit better than that. I put this in the light, clean the front of this off, put it in the light, and I'm still getting 21 volts. And this is winter time. Probably the angle wasn't even very good. Got my little handy dandy little goodie here. So I'm going to just set this over here like so. I'm just going to stand here, not even angle it much into the sun. Got a little shade on the bottom, and a little bitties up to it here, and I'm getting 21.13 volts out of an old solar panel with a little bit of shade on it. Not even an ideal angle, but not terrible. Still producing over 21 volts. This is a panel from the late 80s, so that's actually pretty good. But now I'm going to turn this thing so we're basically sideways to the sun. Not quite, but sun's that direction. I don't have my panel turned into the sun, so we're going to just face the panel camera here. Pretty much take most of the direct sunlight off the panel. Well, actually that's not too bad. At this angle, I'm still getting 20 volts. Kick it over just a little bit more, we're down to 19. And now we're down to 18, 17, 16. Actually, that's not too bad. I'm not going to complain one bit about the power output of these cells. Set this right down here. Best I got 21.4, 21.14, 21.10. Let's get it directly angled to the sun. So, for an old panel that's rated at 21.8, and I'm getting 21.1 after how many years? That's pretty damn good. I would have to say that solar panel has held its value. That solar panel has also lived its life on a houseboat up on Lake Oroville ever since it was purchased brand new. So this isn't a solar panel that's been sitting in the garage doing nothing. It's actually been in the sun producing power. And the gentleman I got them from decided he's going to upgrade finally. Panels are still perfectly good panels. We're going to put them together and we're going to make a small off-the-grid solar array. We might do a 24 volt or 48 volt setup. Something. And this, what I have here, is a little Xantrex charge controller. It'll do 12 to 24, 12 to 24 or 48 volt at 40 amps. And for what we need, there's no way with 4 panels I'm going to be kicking 40 amps into this little box. And, very tiny, very nice little charge control. Xantrex been known, I guess, for their charge controllers. And we have some battery backup. And we'll just use this kind of for a fun demo and for using for computers, whatever. It will be an off-grid setup. So if these lasted since the late 80s till now, I would say that it will last that time frame again and still be producing 20 volts out of that cell. If I only had a 0.7 volt drop in that amount of time, these are damn good cells. The other is my 200 watt Kyocera panel. This panel is rated 26 volts. Depending on the sunlight and temperature, down to 23 volts, 7.61 amp output, 6.13 amp output. One moment. Back again. Anyway, these are rated 23 to 26 volts per panel. And little panels all put in here, all sealed up, very nicely done. And these crazy things are amazing. Angled to the sun, shade down on the bottom. Voltage meter in hand. Voltage output of this panel is 31.25 volts. Right, 31.25 volt output of volts. Amazing. And they rate them at 26. This little puppy's doing 31. Now, I'm going to swing this thing around. Side. Bring it a little bit more into the sun. A bit better angle. And so I'll just sit here and hold this thing underneath my arm here. Much better angle to the sun. Put a lead in there and this lead over here. Oh, come on. And we are getting 33.1 volts in pretty much direct sun. 33. Volts. On a panel rated at 26 max. It is amazingly good. So even at 30 volts, take my little handy dandy little calculator here. This is my math whiz here. So So we got 30 panels times 30 volts. I'm just going to be conservative in between. This is 30 volts at an angle and all that kind of stuff. That's a 900 volt system. Yo! Okay, so then we got to kick that down to a usable voltage and a kick-ass little amperage. So what we have down here is a inverter, charge control inverter for a grid tie setup. It's not the best video here. It's a Fronis IG charge controller. So let's see here. This thing can only take in 264 volts. So that means these guys are tied into parallel strings. So we buddy pair a few of these things up. And, let's see here. Let's see how they do that. So 900 volts divided by 3. And here's 100 divided by 4. So we're going to buddy pair them in 4. So 4 panels in parallel to bump up the amperage. Going to keep us down in the 200 volt range. Right? You know, they may even do 5 of these. Nominal is 240, so I'm thinking 5, because the 30 volt output's is high on the high end, so that's what that is there. So 7 amps, 7 times 5, 35 amps. So it's looking like output fault current is 35 amps. So 30 amps is current protection. Output power is 5,100 watts. So it's a 5 kilowatt system here. DC operating range, 150 to 450 volts. Maximum operating current, 500 volts. Okay, so the DC volts going in from the panels is 500, so we can probably put these in 4 and 33.2. Keep the current down. Maximum operating current is 33.2, so we've got 7 times 4. 28 amps, so the amps down. High voltage, this thing will convert it over to 240 volt AC, all that stuff here. And we have a fuse panel down here. The Fronius inverter apparently is a pretty good one. We currently have a Sunny Boy. Currently have the Sunny Boy. We have 7.2 kilowatts worth of panels on the roof. They're 180 panels rather than 200 like these ones. Same brand. These are Kyocera, and the one on the roof are Kyocera, or how some people pronounce it, Kyocera, whichever. I kind of pronounced the Y in it, Kyocera. Sunny Boy inverter. We got a switch to switch AC off in case of power outage, so the solar doesn't push backwards into the system. And, even though we did find out from the electric company, it really doesn't matter because the linemen always put their safety measures on in case there is any stray voltage coming from the other side. So it's more just a matter. It used to be a problem, but it's not a problem anymore because that's what they do. But we still have to shut the power off, so we can't keep the power going, and that's fine. I would like to divert the power in case of a power outage to a bank of batteries if possible, and they do have inverters now that will do that, so you can have a DC battery backup system and also your grid tie system, and that way you can make better use of the power. Don't need to have a really huge battery backup in that case because, like for us, we don't have a lot of power outs here. But what we're going to do is we're going to figure out where we're going to mount these. I don't think we're going to mount them on the house. I think we're going to do a ground mount off of the back 40. And just run all that stuff over to the current system that we have and see if we can tie them both together. And I'm not sure how to do that, so we've got to find out. I do have to take some classes on a few things for later, which we're going to do. I'm going to do. That's the goal, is to have a solar install business. So these are going to be my solar panels for doing that. We may put half of them on the roof and just tie into what we have here using this inverter. We just tie into what we have, and then the other half make a completely off-grid system. I'm going to be building a shop, and we may put those on the shop and just have a completely off-grid system, and then tie it to the house so we can have power in the house if the power goes out from the off-grid system, at least minimum power. And that's a possibility too. And we got the panels for a good price, including the inverter. Inverters are a few $1,000 if you're going to buy one. And so minus the cost of the inverter, these panels were pretty cheap. And I did number crunching on my Nissan Leaf over here, and averaged out, if I drive the car for 150,000 miles, it's going to cost me, if I was just paying outright through my electric bill, I'd be paying about $8,000 over the course of the 150,000 miles. These panels cost me $8,000. And can't beat that. So this is all the power that my little Nissan Leaf over here is going to need for the life of the car. But actually, these things will produce more power than what that little car needs. can actually produce a whole lot more. So my fuel costs for the car and a couple other ones, the bus and all that, once we get them going, and the house is all paid for, and I won't be paying anything except paperwork bills to PG&E, and that's it. And that I can deal with. No more $300 a month going out just for house and all that kind of stuff. Actually, we weren't there, except when we first moved in the house. Since it's all electric, we had $320-some bills, and we immediately trimmed that down. We immediately trimmed that down to $150 a month, and then we got down to $120 a month, and that's averaged year round. And around here, it's not too bad. Like right now, it's probably 58, going on 60 degrees out here on the shortest day of the year. Bright and sunny, a little bit foggy and frosty this morning. Got nice green grass still in our front yard. Looks great. That's why I live out here, not in the snow belt, even though I like the snow. So anyway, just wanted to show you that we do have the panels. I have 30 of these safely stored away. The 4 of the small panels, we're going to get that all hooked up, and we'll show that when we're done. I have my charge station from EV Charge America has been shipped. They actually did it. Right now, it was put in yesterday to ship, and it's now it was started out in Las Vegas. It ended up, it's now right now, I checked it a few minutes ago, is in Sparks, Nevada. It was the last check-in, and so he said I should see it either tomorrow or Friday. And I expect that, and it's from UPS, so probably tomorrow. If it's in Sparks, it's not that far from here, and it'll just come down to Yuba City and over to my house, which is a really good thing. With a good half a year wait on a product, I do hope that it's as good as they say. I picked it because I thought it was going to be good, and really felt that I was getting screwed, and not just me, but a whole bunch of other people who've been waiting as long as I have. Some people not quite as long. I'm going to get it. We're going to hook it up. We're going to check it out. We're going to run it, check it, test it, and if it proves good, then I'm going to take all my every bit of negative press that I can possibly take down off the internet is going to come off, because I don't want to, I don't want people to spend money on something that they may not get. It would be good if they had a little better customer service. It would be good if they emailed their patients, emailed their customers if there was any trouble or delays or anything like that. Because in reality, if there are delays and there are true delays, we're a pretty patient group and willing to wait. Hey, there's a UPS truck. They're backing up right here. Let's see what they're going to bring you. So, UPS. 1-2 box and a package for Kim. 2 packages for me. Just what I've been waiting for. I was not expecting these today. I can't reveal what they are in the package because my wife watches my videos. But one of them is hers. One of them is mine. Because I bought one too. For me. Bought my own Christmas present. So, Christmas presents. So anyway, back EV Charge America. EV Charge America. Maybe they will be all right. And I've been rather perturbed at their less than stellar customer service. Actually, zero customer service. I've had to pull their teeth out in order to get them to talk. Really, really just doesn't work. Not for me. But if they're willing to tell me that they have delays, and if they keep me updated on the delays, hell, they can keep me updated for a year and a half. As long as I know that they're still in business and they're actually doing something, I'm a pretty patient person. So, word is, and tracking, got it all. It's on the way. So, it's real. It's a real deal. So, with that light, I'm going to go tell some people and let them know that things are on the move, and they may be getting some tracking numbers themselves here. And he said that they've got about 100 of them going out. So that's about right on the amount of people that have been ordering these things. So they've been busting their ass. I think they bit themselves in the ass for charging a little bit less than what they should have. But that's not my problem. I paid them what they wanted. And so did a bunch of others. So just watch out, guys. Anyway, not much else to say. I'm not going to do a whole lot of tinkering and pulling and yanking or anything like that. I do have my Volkswagen GTI that my daughter's been driving. I'll let them drive it for a little bit. They have their car done. Their car is finished. And so they're done with that. And my boy has a 65 Volkswagen Bug. And he really wants the GTI more than the Bug. His Bug's a pretty nice little Bug. It's not classic, custom or anything like that. He's got it lowered. Needs some painting work. He redid the seats inside, but the seat frame broke and tore the seat covers that he put in. He built one kick-ass little engine for it though, and I didn't spend a lot for the GTI, and so what I think I'm going to do is trade him the GTI for the Bug, and we're going to slap together a Bug real quick with my old GE 9-inch motor and in the synchromotive controller, because we've got more stuff coming from them. Should be soon. It's going to be fast charge stuff, and that's what I've been waiting for. It's been a bit of a slow process on their side too, but at least they communicate with me, and so at least working with them, just more of a spokesman for them, and also a tester. And we're gonna present a video. So we're gonna set some stuff up. I'm gonna get some more camera equipment, and we're gonna set up a real good video and demo of their charging stuff that they've got, and hopefully we're gonna turn the EV world upside down, sort of. It's not gonna be totally, but I think it's going to offer a bit, some good stuff for people here. Help keep some costs down. anyway, we'll see. They're going to have something to me here in the next couple of weeks. Probably be just after Christmas. And they've pretty much got it built. They've done some testing too. And but we're going to do a video demo, and I want to bring it all to the next convention. That's our goal. So anyway, solar panels, not directly related to the electric cars, but they are indirectly. Excellent source for power and producing power for charging the cars, especially in nice sunny areas, which we live in. And happy to announce that we have all of our power that we need. Someday we will go off grid, and I am going to put out and ask if anybody has old thunder skies, old high powers that are 100 amp hour type size batteries, the old ones from '08 that you're not going to use, that aren't perfect but aren't dead, that are still usable. If you're looking to get rid of them for cheap price, not going to spend a lot of money on them, but if you want to sell them and recoup a little money off of them, if you're not going to use them, even if you got 3 or 4 100 amp hour cells for cheap and just want to get them out of there, I'd be glad to buy them. We're going to build up a bank of lithium batteries for a battery backup. We're not going to use the batteries in a car. The ones I have we are for now, until I buy new ones for the bus when we are finished with the bus. The bus will just have temporary, the high powers just for driving it. But once we're done, we're gonna put in some good calbs, and if there's new stuff coming, maybe Sino-Poly, we'll buy some of those and put those in if we can get them for $1. Rather than $1.25, that would be great. So we shall see. Not much else is going on here. Christmas is just down the road. Me and my wife are working. Unfortunately, we won't be doing any family get-togethers this year. Not per se. We're going to try and get together with the kids after Christmas for part of a day. But they have to work and having a difficult time getting time off. But we're still enjoying Christmas, not as much as before. We've noticed kind of a decline in the Christmas spirit around work. People just kind of hum, bah humbug, all that good stuff. But we're enjoying it. We're at least I am. At least I am. So, anyway, enough prattling on. So wanted to show my nice pretty boys here, and we will talk to you all later.